So in this video, we're talking about motive. What is your motive of communication? Why are you communicating? We talked about it in the last video, but motive is about what do I want to transmit to Daryl when I'm talking to him, sending him an email. Sort of the why behind that matters to what I'm trying to communicate. And he is going to try to interpret what I'm communicating to him. And if I do not communicate clearly, my motive for doing that is going to be fuzzy. The better I communicate, the better my why of communicating is transmitted. So from your perspective, Daryl, what are some problems with motive that people have, or what is the essence for you with motive? Why is it important to think about?
I mean, as humans, I think our natural tendency is to often have selfish motives. Mm-hmm. We need to take care of home base first, right? Mm-hmm. We need to make sure that we're going to be okay, mm-hmm. That we're not going to damage our reputation or credibility or something like that first, and then we'll, if there's room left over, then we'll see if we can help out other people too.
Right.
And the problem that is, of course, with a selfish motive is that we may be communicating in ways that harm other people, mm-hmm. At worst, or at least are unclear mm-hmm. and unhelpful to other people. So your motive is your deep down real intention. Mm-hmm. It's our heart. Mm-hmm. Not what are we trying to make our communication look or sound like, but what are we actually trying to do between the lines, read between the lines, mm-hmm. Underneath the facade, all of these things, like what's at the core of this, mm-hmm. what are you trying to actually do?
So what I would want to ask everybody is your motive for communication. Oftentimes we're just sending the email, or we're making the phone call, or sending the text, or making the post. But what is your motive? And I think we need to ask ourselves that before, because oftentimes we're asking that of somebody's email or somebody's post, or what are they, we're wondering their motive. And as we talked about, really being able, it's probably pretty important to give people the benefit of the doubt, because we can't know. But what we do have control over is our own motive. So in communication, what is my motivation for communicating? Because almost everything we do communicates something.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I think this comes back to your own heart. Like you said, your own motivation in life, your own purpose. What are you about? Because if it is all selfish, then it's your communication, probably not shockingly, is going to be selfish. Yeah. So what goes on the inside of you matters in terms of what comes out.
Yeah, absolutely. I would encourage you to literally answer this question for yourself. The next time you're going to create some kind of community, and I realize we can't do this, we communicate 10,000 times every day, mm-hmm. okay, through body language, through all other kinds of forms. So we can't do this every time, obviously. But just occasionally, once in a while, pause mm-hmm. and answer this to yourself, especially if you recognize that it's going to be a crucial conversation.
Yeah, right.
If you, maybe a rule of thumb, if you feel hesitant or uncomfortable mm-hmm. About a communication that you're going to create, maybe you're emailing someone about something that you feel frustrated, you feel stressed mm-hmm. about it, you're upset at them, you need to, you feel defensive. Like, those are red flags. Mm-hmm. Use those red flags to pause and answer the question, what's my motive with this communication? Okay, and your answer is going to be something like, I just really want this person to know that I was trying to help with mm-hmm. this thing, and I think I accidentally made a mistake or something. Or maybe your motive is, I need this person to know that they didn't have the right, mm-hmm. To step in and tell me that I wasn't supposed to be doing this. Mm-hmm. See, these are indications of motive. Mm-hmm. Like, is your motive to to make sure someone else knows that they were wrong, or is your motive to make sure that they know you were trying to help them? So just pause and actually answer this question to yourself, okay? Because once you make that communication, it's sealed. Okay, you can't take it back.
Right.
All right, the motive is out there. All right, all you can do after that is try to fix it.
Yeah.
Which is much more difficult. Now, on the receiving end, as you mentioned, Andy, we don't have control over the motive. Okay, if you're receiving communication, you don't get to change the motive. Okay, that came from the sender, and you don't even actually have any way of knowing the motive. We don't have access to know what the motive is directly. So really all we can do is give the benefit of the doubt that the motive is positive, helpful, pure, beneficial, whatever nice word you want to use for that. Try to give the benefit of the doubt. Because if we don't give them the benefit of the doubt, it's likely just going to spiral into this nasty ball of miscommunication.
Right.
All right, so give them the benefit of the doubt, check your motive in return, and communicate back.
Yeah, and I think, this idea of evaluation in the area of communication is so crucial to understanding ourselves. Because if you find yourself, after you send emails, oftentimes thinking, I shouldn't have sent that, and that happens to you a lot, you need to evaluate, is there something I can do before the email is sent?
Yeah.
If you find that words are coming out of your mouth and you probably shouldn't have said that because or it was damaging, or all of a sudden you're finding things in your life falling apart happening shortly after you make some communication. I would encourage you to evaluate that and pull back. And like Daryl said, just insert a pause, go into some self-reflection, check the motive, and see what you're doing and why.
Yeah, it'll be worth the time.
For everyone.
For everyone, for all of us. All right, next we're going to talk about empathy.
Awesome.